Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 7 Wonders of Genshin series. Today, we'll finally be taking a look at Chenyu Vale, the new area of Liyue released in version 4.4. Of course, this video will only cover the wonders of Chenyu Vale, so if you want to see other wonders of Liyue, check out my previous videos in the series. Also, this video does contain spoilers for the quests listed on screen now, so if you haven't done those, you have been warned. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's start off with what can be called the crown jewels of Chenyu Vale, the structures known as Jademouth. These two massive pieces of jade are embedded within the Bishui River, and help stop the river from flooding. Legends say that long ago, a carp adeptus threw this jade into the river to stop an incoming flood. Through the World Quest series Chenyu's Blessings of Sunken Jade, we learn that this carp adeptus was none other than Fujin. Additionally, we learn of another adeptus who helped create this spectacle, the White Snake Adeptus. Otherwise known as the Herblord, this adeptus is not seen in modern-day Chenyu Vale. However, it has been heavily implied that the Herblord is the same as Chongsheng, the snake found around Baiju's neck. I'll touch more on that theory in a later section of this video. As for why Fujin and the Herblord threw the jade into the river, it was part of their plan to stop their master from flooding the Bishui River. Currently, we don't know who this master was, but I have a theory video coming out later this week that goes over why I think it may have been Guizhang. Getting back to the Adepti though, Fujin would throw the jade into the Bishui River, while the Herblord would go and fight against their now former master. Lingguan, the Xuanlian Adeptus, would also help get the people of Chenyu Vale to shelter. After this, both Fujin and the Herblord would lose most of their power, while Lingguan returned to the forest and mountains, away from the humans. In modern times, we traveled to Jademouth alongside a young boy named Little Mao. Together, we unsealed 2 shrines that allowed a whirlpool to open in the river. We then traveled underneath the river, where we would meet with Fujin and obtain the votive rain jade, which was necessary to heal Chenyu Vale. Of course, the whirlpool would soon disappear, allowing travelers on the Bishui River to continue business as usual. Within the stone walls of Mount Lingmeng, you can find an old training center known as Wangshan Hall. Long ago, it was a thriving place where members of the Guhua clan would train and hone their skills. These days, only a few members of the Guhua clan remain, and the hall is quite a bit messy. Now, the Guhua clan was originally known as the Guhua Brotherhood, and it was founded by a close associate of the Adeptus Guhua. The group would travel across Liyue, performing chivalrous deeds throughout the land. At their peak, they had hundreds of followers across the Nation of Geo. As time went on, however, the group's numbers dwindled. Today, there are only 5 known active members, those being Xingqiu, Sanyu, Little Kaer, Huang III, and Wen IV. We can also meet 2 former members of the clan in Liyue Harbor, those being Chen the Sharp and Jiro. Getting back to the location itself, we travel to Wangshan Hall in the world quest A Wangshan Walk to Remember. After a few trials, we are given a set of keys which allow us to access the secret rooms of the hall. Here, we can read about the 3 secret arts that members of the Guhua clan would use. These arts are Light Piercer for polearms, Rain Cutter for swords, and Life Ender for both. Interestingly though, Guhua, the clan's namesake, used the Rain Slasher, which is a claymore. Speaking of weapons, Wangshan Hall is one of only 2 places where you can obtain a Dark Iron Sword. Before the version 4.4 update, you could only get one of these swords from Chen the Sharp in Liyue Harbor. This weapon seems to be the main sword of choice for members of the Guhua clan, as many of their members can be seen wielding the sword. While not many of these members remain, Wangshan Hall stands proud as a symbol of their history. Atop a small hill just south of the Bishui River, you can find a location known as Teatree Slope. At the peak of this hill, you will find a massive tea tree growing with a table beneath it. In fact, this was the very first tea tree planted in Chenyu Vale, placed here by the Carp Adeptus Fujin thousands of years ago. The story of this tree was actually told all the way back in version 2.6 with the Echoes of an Offering artifact set. From the lore of this set and information given in Chenyu Vale's quests, we can assume that this hill belonged to Lingguan in the past. Fujin would plant the tea tree on her mountain, saying how they could invite the other Adepti over when it grows. Lingguan acted upset that Fujin had planted the tree on her turf, but deep down, she too was excited to smell the tea's fragrance. Given the table underneath the tree, it is likely that Fujin, Lingguan, the Herb Lord, and their master shared tea here, and that if they had the time, more Adepti would have been welcome as well. Eventually, humans would travel to Chenyu Vale, where they would learn to harvest tea leaves as well. They would create a bridge out of the branches of the tea tree over the Bashui River, where they would soon establish Qiaoying Village. Peaceful times would not last though, and the 3 Adepti of the area would soon disappear. The Herb Lord would be defeated in her fight against her master, but it is said that she now resides in Liyue Harbor. Fujin would lose most of her power saving the Vale, forcing her to retreat to Carp's Rest to recover over thousands of years. Lingguan would return to the forest and mountains, keeping out of sight of the humans. Just south of Teatree Slope, you can find a beautiful area known as Yaodie Valley. This place was the abode of an Adeptus of Chenyu Vale, specifically the Herb Lord. Her abode is home to a few different subsections located in caves, those being Adeptus' Repose and Lingshu Courtyard. Starting with Adeptus' Repose, you can find a few medicinal pots here, as well as notes written by the Herb Lord about her friends. Additionally, you can find a fragment of a mural here that depicts a golden carp Adeptus and a white snake Adeptus, those of course being Fujin and the Herb Lord. Moving over to Lingshu Courtyard, the world quest Silently the Butterfly Crosses the Valley takes place here. At the very beginning of this quest, we get confirmation that this abode belonged to the Herb Lord. Her medicinal containers still reside all across the area, with the biggest ones found here in Lingshu Courtyard. Now, for this world quest, we go around and find 5 special butterflies. When all 5 are collected, the tree within the courtyard glows brilliantly, and the abode turns even more beautiful. From this quest, we learn even more about the Herb Lord, including that her desire to help those in need never once wavered. Of course, this connects back to the Changsheng theory. Changsheng's power allows her to assist people and rid them of their illnesses after all, so with all the lore about the Herb Lord and medicine, it would surprise me if they weren't the same being, or at least related in some way. Before we move on though, there is one more interesting cave on the southern end of Yaodie Valley. Within this cave, you can find an old weapon stuck to a rock, the polearm known as the Calamity Queller. As such, this cave is where the Yaksha generals Bonanus and Menogius fought, with the former taking the life of the latter. Close to the center of Chenyu Vale, you can find a massive series of ruined buildings known as Chizhang Wall. Deep within these ruins lays the history of the people of Chenyu Vale, but to access these secrets, you need to solve a few puzzles. First, you need to collect 2 fragrant woods from different shrines. After obtaining both, you can offer them to the diffuser, which will open the gate of Chizhang Wall. Even after defeating the ruined greater inside though, you still need 2 jade fragments to unlock the final mystery. These 2 fragments can be found on the ground during the World Quest series Chenyu's Blessings of Sunken Jade. Once you have collected both fragments, you can place them on the ancient jade pendant within Chizhang Wall. Using your Adeptal power, you can then be transported to a new location. At this location, you can unveil a mural that shows the history of Chenyu Vale and its people. Combining this mural with the lore of Jadefall's splendor, you can unlock the complete truth. Long ago, the ancestors of the people of Chenyu Vale actually resided in what is now known as the Chasm. Back then, the chasm was likely a mountain or series of mountains, and not yet a chasm. However, the people who resided in these mountains were unaware of the sins that laid beneath their mines, including the nameless ruins we can see in the underground mines. As such, a divine nail would eventually be cast down onto the area, forming the chasm that we know today. As depicted in the mural, the people of the chasm would travel north after the disaster until they settled in Chenyu Vale. These days, the true history of these people is widely forgotten by the modern inhabitants of Chenyu Vale, with the mural of Chizhang Wall being one of the only lasting pieces of evidence of that history. In the southernmost part of Chenyu Vale, you can find a beautiful fragmented mountain known as Mount Xuanlian. Long ago, the Adepti of Chenyu Vale would meet here, similar to their meetings at Teatree Slope. During the World Quest series Chenyu's Blessings of Sunken Jade, Fujin tells us more about her past when we visit here. She tells us that the teapot set upon the table was actually planned to be used to carry Fujin to the Guili Plains and Liyue Harbor. Being a carp adeptus, she would need water to make the journey. Unfortunately, Fujin wouldn't be able to travel at this time, as the plans were interrupted by the Archon War. During this war, the 3 Adepti of Chenyu Vale defected against their god. As I said earlier, this led to the 3 Adepti either losing their powers or disappearing into the wilderness. Now, while talking with Fujin at Mount Xuanlian, she actually tells us more about her former master and what she was like. According to Fujin, this god was not a heinous being, and in fact made many dreams come true. Instead, the Archon War was the true evil, causing her former master to seek the position of Archon, or even just survive the war. In her attempts to win, she would need to fight against Morax. Realizing she lacked the power to overcome him, she eventually decided to cause the Bishui River to flood. The 3 Adepti were able to stop this, however, saving the people of Chenyu Vale. While this god may be gone now, this mountain stands tall, representing the memories of times long gone. For the final wonder of today, I want to talk about Chiwang Terrace. Located atop Mount Laishin, this is a beautiful and sacred place that holds great importance to both the people and Adepti of Chenyu Vale. We are able to unlock this area towards the end of the World Quest series Chenyu's Blessings of Sunken Jade. During this quest, we reach Chiwang Terrace and work with Fujin to repel the monsters and destroy the miasma in the area. We then fight against Lingguan to calm her down and reason with her, hoping that she will stop trying to make things they were in the Vale thousands of years ago. Eventually, Lingguan yields, allowing Fujin to use her power to restore the spirit veins of Chenyu Vale. As such, Chenyu Vale is saved, and the tea once again tastes amazing. However, this process used all of Fujin's recently accumulated power, forcing her to rest at Carp's Rest once again for the time being. Using the Rain Jade's benediction offering system though, the traveler can offer the spirit carp found around Chenyu Vale to the votive Rain Jade in Carp's Rest. After offering all of the spirit carp, Fujin's power is fully restored, allowing her to appear to us in her human form once again. After this, she can be found in a few areas around Chenyu Vale, along with Lingguan or Little Mao. Still, thanks to our efforts at Chiwang Terrace, Chenyu Vale will be safe for the foreseeable future. As for the terrace itself, it stands tall above the clouds, with its altar of jade hovering above. And those are 7 of the wonders found within Chenyu Vale. If you haven't seen my other 7 wonders videos that go over Liyue and the Chasm, I recommend you check those out. Also, I do plan on releasing a theory video about my ideas on Guizhong being the god of Chenyu Vale later this week, so look out for that. I would love to hear what other wonders throughout Teyvat you'd like me to hear go over in this series in the comments below as well. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Sources and further readings are also in the description if you want to check them out. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video.